Bienvenidos! Welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we have one heck of a delicious recipe. We're talking Spanish garlic noodles. Now in my opinion, these are the most flavorsome garlic noodles in the world. But don't take my word for it. Make them at home, give them a try, and become a believer, folks. This recipe is so easy to make. It's got the most incredible flavors to it, and it's all done in just 30 minutes. If this is your first time here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified when I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork kitchen. To all my returning subscribers, welcome back. So we're going to begin by adding in 2.5 cups of vegetable broth, which is about 600 milliliters, into a saucepan. The broth that I'm using is homemade. You'll find the recipe on how to make it in the iCard above. If you prefer, you can use water here and just season it with salt, but by using the vegetable broth, it adds the most incredible flavor to the noodles. And I'm also going to pinch in 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. And we'll heat it with a high heat. Now the saffron threads I'm using, as always, are from Golden Saffron. This is one of my personal favorite saffrons, super high quality. Link where you can get some in the description box below. In the meantime, I'm going to grab a large fry pan, heat it with a medium heat, and add in about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, I'm going to grab 1 head of garlic, remove the skins from the cloves, and roughly chop the garlic into small chunks. After heating the olive oil between 3 to 4 minutes on a medium heat, it should be nice and hot, but as you can see, it's not smoking, so it hasn't lost any of its beautiful flavor. At this point, I'm going to add in the chunks of garlic into the pan and mix the garlic around. That way each piece of garlic is coated in the olive oil. Then I'm going to add in 2 cups of uncooked Spanish fideos, which is 200 grams. Spanish fideos are a small thin noodle that are typically used here to make fideuà. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below. And I'm going to start mixing the fideos and the garlic around with the olive oil. Very important to mix this continuously. That way all the ingredients evenly saute and they don't brown too quickly. After about 4 minutes and the chunks of garlic are lightly sauteed and the fideos are lightly fried, you don't want to brown these ingredients too much, otherwise they easily get a bitter flavor. I'm going to measure out 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.30 grams. Add it into the pan with the fideos and the garlic. And we'll lightly season with a little sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we're going to give this a quick mix. That way those seasonings are evenly coating all the fideos and the garlic. Once everything's well mixed, I'm going to grab our hot saffron infused vegetable broth and slowly add it into the pan. And we're going to raise the heat from a medium heat to a high heat. And we'll give this a quick mix. That way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. And you don't have to mix this continuously, but do get in there every 1 to 2 minutes. That way all the noodles are evenly cooked and they don't stick to each other. After about 5 to 6 minutes, you can see a lot of that broth has been absorbed by the fideos, but there's still a little bit of broth left. I'm going to place a lid on the pan and lower the fire to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this with the lid on between 3 to 4 minutes. This is enough time for all that broth to be absorbed by the noodles and for the noodles to be perfectly cooked al dente. While the noodles are simmering, I'm going to finely grate half a cup of manchego cheese, which is 45 grams. The manchego cheese that I'm using has been aged for 6 months, so it's got a beautiful bite to it. However, you can use whatever cheese you want for this recipe. After simmering the noodles for about 4 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid from the pan. And as you can see, there's virtually no broth left in the pan. It's all been absorbed by the noodles and this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat. Add in the finely grated manchego cheese over the noodles. and we're gonna give this a mix until all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. Then I'm gonna transfer some of the fideos into a serving dish. And sprinkle it with some finely chopped parsley. Our Spanish garlic noodles are done. You saw this, so easy to make, beautiful presentation, and the aromas coming out of this are absolutely mind-blowing. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. This is a dish that I cannot wait to try. Here we go. It is so good. There's so much garlic flavor, but most importantly, the noodles are perfectly cooked al dente and they have a nice bite to them. And as for the rest of the flavors, that sweet smoked Spanish paprika with the saffron and manchego cheese, truly an explosion of so much goodness. I still stand by this, the most flavorsome noodles out there. Try them at home and surprise yourself at how good they are. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Catherine Clark, Jean, and Maybeth Robles. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. It's thanks to you and the rest of my patrons why Spain on a Fork continues to move forward. If you're not a patron, consider becoming one, as it really helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find that page in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash the subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.